Master Craine, he just came out with a new video saying that compete with HOTA, the new Barbarian demo access build for true battlegrounds tanks. Okay, so I'm a huge fan when it comes like to tanky builds, so hopefully we found here something new that I can go and test it out on my Barbarian. Let's go and watch.
Hey there my immortal nerds, welcome again to the channel. Today with a video to show you the result of the community call I made a few days ago.
Alright.
Unburdened Terror is actually working in PvP. How? Yeah, with a little trick. It took me a while, but finally I found a way to create this awesome build with full immunity, crazy damage reduction and heavy damage output. Follow me to understand what we were lacking this whole time.
Listen, if you guys don't know, like Craine is German, and if you go to Germany, they have like absolutely godly clubs, man. So I guess like it's in his blood, man, to put like a hype song at the end, at the beginning. I really loved it. So
yes,
let's see.
So in my last video I called out to you and asked for help with this head essence. Thank you guys for the many responses I received from you in the comments, on Discord and even in-game. I just love this GOAT community. So this build is for Battleground and for players that are invested and are willing to farm some eternal.
Ooh, so we need the 4 out of 4 cleave. Ooh, I don't know if we have these ones.
Gear from Terror Portals. It is focused on mid-resonance bracket, as our job is mainly to push the idol. And lastly, we need some armor focus as we...
Okay, so this is a mainly mid-resonance build, so that's kind of feels bad, man. But let's see. Focus armor.
Return to our main job of being tanky. But don't close the video now, we will still be a heavy damage machine, close to the HOTA meta. Short note, while farming your gear, be careful with investing too many Terror Essences in 1 week. It will get heavy after a while, 100 essences or something, and mobs will be enraged then with heavy increased damage. On the other side, farming like this will grant you a goblin portal from time to time with a very nice drop rate for legendaries.
These, whenever you get all the goblins, is such a good feeling, man. I think it happens every like 50 Terror Rifts. That's what I hear. Like, I think it's a pity.
So keep farming and good luck on this. You're asking what to look for, what essences and eternal gear to farm? Well, let's check out the mechanics.
Alright.
First, we are a tank, so we go with the Terror Unburdened with that 35% damage reduction, and we take the Burden of the Nothingness with a 20% damage reduction of enemies, so those two stack as they don't have the same effect. Next, we take the new buffs, because those buffs are great for our Demoralize. Later on you will see there are essences and variants.
So this is actually really good because like basically the helmet will gonna turn you into like a aimbot that the guy is gonna go like enrage and is gonna start attacking everyone around. One of the reasons why I didn't like at first that build, it was because I couldn't like really move around like my character, and it got me to be in sometimes in the places that I shouldn't be with my character, and that was I didn't really like that. But now that we also have 2 new instances when it comes like to the main hand and off, and probably is gonna make this build even way stronger.
Where you can change the core of this build, but let's go with the main thing first. Iron Tusk to give us some crit chance, and the Promised Sunrise to give us more mobility, as we will not use Wrath or Sprint in this build, and to give us an increase of attack speed. And then we going to the base damage disrupt part of this build. You will see now we go with Cleave. Cleave, it's I think underestimated, and especially that.
Wait. What? So we send like 2 cleaves to deal damage, and the cleave also gives knockback to the target, and then we have the chain spears probably to pull them back, right?
Axe of the Ray. It's that throwing axe where you throw at a great distance those 2 axes that will hit the enemy twice when they pass them. We combine it with a silver flash to give those axes now a knockback to players. every 2 seconds you can knock back the enemies. And we combine it with the Shackled Fate with our classic chain essence, which produces a pull, which is kind of a knockback as well. So we have now a knockback machine. First, we throw the axes to deal an initial.
Okay, so I think what he's doing, and I'm not certain, is when he sends the cleaves, now then he's gonna go into the Demoralize, and Demoralize whenever he hits, because he has the 4 out of 4 terror affix, is gonna reduce the cooldown of like the cleaves, and then you're gonna keep like just using the axes while even you are in enrage, and you can also use your chains. Kind of interesting.
Knockback, then we pull them to us, which knocks them back again. Then we throw axes again, which knockbacks them again. We keep then chained disrupt, and this is the core of this build.
Oh,
this is
so,
where the beauty starts. So why cleave, and why is it so special with the Terror Unburdened? The point is, the Demoralize with that helmet is dealing attacks continuously.
Yeah.
You cannot boost those attacks with primary attack damage or any primary attack effect, because they're kind of a skill damage or something. But, and this is the crazy part, they count for the eternal affix of the cleave.
Yeah, okay, that's exactly what I said. Yeah, so whenever you are in the blinding rage, it's still gonna count. So one of the biggest issues, and also there's like these other answers that comes to Barb, that your Wrath of the Berserk, now you become like Rocky, you know, like you just use your fists. The problem with that, there's nothing like to boost that damage, because like that's mainly like skill damage.
Cooldown is reduced by 0.1 seconds whenever your primary attack hits an enemy. And in this case, the Terror Unburdened counts. The Demoralized attacks count as primary attack, and it reduces the cooldown of our cleave. So think about it. We have 100% immunity to anything while we are in that Terror Unburdened Demoralized mode. And we constantly deal improved by attack speed from sets and the offhand.
So can you use the cleaves also while you are in the demoralized state, or you have to first like cleave, then chains, then demoralize?
Primary attacks continuously.
Let me
while
see.
We are relatively fast.
Oh, you can use.
So every time that AoE hits, it reduces our cooldown. Second point, it's not a primary attack as we do.
Chad, I think we gotta go Barb just to test it out. Like I'm feeling it.
Usually with our Lacerate or something. It is an AoE primary attack. So whenever he stomps down, he will hit something. So you can imagine what happens when you are in the idol and you just clubbing the whole mob at the idol. Your primary attacks hits an enemy, and sometimes
bro, he's such a dumb build, man. Like not the concept, but I'm saying like the instance itself, that the fact that you just press like one button and then you're just like, okay, I don't need to do anything, pretty much, you know, like the whole instance will dictate whenever you go, whatever. Like that's like the only thing that I feel like I never liked about like these instances, because like in PvP, it's like you always want to have control of your character, but I'm always willing to give it a try, right?
Even more than one. So your cooldown will drop drastically of the cleave. And this is the core. This is why this build now finally works. And on top of that, now that we have damage source, we are immune. Of course, we cannot control this. So we will be at the idle. We cannot chase, we cannot strategically move wisely or anything. We are a dumb Barbarian at the idol.
See? See, Craine, he used exactly same word as me. You know, he said like this is a dumb build. You know, like he uses like he used that instance and you're just like dumb. You know, like
chases everything and stomps it down.
Look at him! Look at him
control the enemy backline with a cleave. We can throw our axes. We can do stuff definitely, and by this we can anytime change the focus while throwing.
Look at him!
We can use that little time so that close by enemy gets chosen now. But the point is we are tanky. We want to stay in the idle as long as possible. This is our job. So tanky, tanky, tanky. This is our point, and we boost it with the regular stuff. We go with the cat, of course. The savior is important. The brawler is a good thing with the shield and damage reduction and everything. We have the 4-piece mount banks, which is nice with a cool heavy shield that helps us. We even boost it with gems, spiteful, battle guard, and so on, and go with the specialization of the benefactor. Those are all shields and damage reduction and stuff that keeps us alive, combined with the demoralize perks of just receiving less damage. And you see, while being tanky and continuously throw that axis, we get into a very, very nice mode. The Paragon can...
Did anyone in the chat already try this build? Did you guys enjoy it if you did? Low to high. So obviously, probably we're gonna have to use Gladiator because like we're low resonance, right? These like more high resonance where they get the advantage out of the shields and all these things.
Differ. If you are lower resonance, maybe the Gladiator is better because you still can do kills and you can do cool kills. So you can profit from the...
I don't know if we're gonna be able to kill the whales, man. I don't know about that. I don't know. But also have in mind, I am like a very niche player, which is like I'm very low resonance and I'm very high on the, you know, the legend ranking. So my matchmaking, it is completely wild, man. Like it is, I should not be there technically.
The grizzled veteran and so on from the Gladiator. It's a nice thing, and the cheat death, of course. For the high resonance, I would go with Brawler because anyway, you with a higher armor, you do not die that often, so the Brawler brings you more with the regular shields and everything. Gems are classic. We want some crit, lament, roiling, and so on.
I
some
hate the battle guard,
nice.
man.
I would definitely prefer some defense, battle guard, frozen heart, spiteful blood. Those are your friends for this build because we don't run away from the...
So I will tell you why in general I don't like the battle guard is because like the radius for me, it is very, very small, man. It is extremely small. I don't think it's I don't think it's worth it to have. If you're talking about maybe like a spiteful blood or even like a frozen heart, I think like I know it's a 5-star compared to a 2-star, but in general, like the things that the value that you get out of the gem, it is vastly superior.
We do not rotate on the idol, so you should just focus on staying there as long as you can. Then some speed is nice. You have some from the paint class that we want to do for damage. Of course, he brings us a speed bonus, but the Grim is good as well. Attack speed plus movement speed. It's a nice gem here that helps.
Is he in the Barb
and
Breaker
damage,
or is he
of course,
the
you
Barb?
can take everything you have. Even a Wolf Heart is nice. Or rank 1 gems like Berserkers, a Pain Clasp, of course, all those stuff that brings you just pure damage percentages. Lastly, Reforges, I think they are important as well. You should focus on a tank build. So
he's going with the jolt,
all of this you see is a tank build. You're not highly mobile or anything, it's focused on tank. So what do you need for a good tank? Of course, there are many ways. In this case, I prefer a jolt combination because it gives you...
I was actually thinking about going jolt for my third loadout. So I have the vengeance one, which is like really good and I like it. But for me in the future, I will go with the jolt. And like we lose the damage to shielded enemies, but maybe we get like the damage taken from suffering loss of control or the dot damage or something like that, and then we have like the 2% immobilize, because I also find out like the immobilize whenever it procs in PvP, it is so broken, it's crazy.
A nice effect as well with the passive kind of a hidden kill sling gem counter attack where you say 2% chance to immobilize your attacker. It's pretty nice as we have knockbacks and everything. Another immobilization to him. It's pretty cool.
I kind of want to know like what rating is in.
The damage taken from players is reduced. You can pick it 8 times, so 8% damage reduction from players on top. While you have in addition the suffering, while you suffer a loss of control, you reduce the damage that you receive. You can go up to 4%, I think, so 8 times 4 is 32%, and of course it's drived, so I don't know, maybe 12% or something in PvP, plus the 8, so you base is 20% damage reduction, and then you can turn it around with
the maximum you guys can get, like there is a cap to damage reduction, which is 80. But like you also need to have in mind that a few damage reductions, they don't it's the same as attack speed, they don't multiply with each other, so you have to be careful which one is reducing or not.
Vengeance stuff. So
okay, let's go to the build variations.
I promised variants. Variants are important.
All right, variants.
Here.
Let's go.
The core thing is the damage variant. That sounds pretty good if you are high on armor penetration or anything. The Law of the Wild Shoulder is a good thing with a 50% nearly damage increase for the cleave when enemies are slowed.
Okay, so here we have we have Vitus Banquets and then the Promise. Okay, we're gonna like just skip a bit so we just can keep checking these out. The knockback variant, where you have the shoulders for the knockback, and we also have like 4 pieces Vitus, and then you're also using the damage to cleave. All right, let's see the whole build now. So for the whole build,
of course, we have lesser rate in here, but it doesn't matter. Undying Rage is important. Cleave, Chains, and Demoralize. We take the speed while we attack from the Promised Sunrise and our gems. So Demoralize is a key with the Terror Unburdened, the Iron Tusk, the Burden of the Nothingness, and the Promised Sunrise. You see, it's crazily buffed. This is a core build. Check out the variants again if you want to switch it a bit.
So I think, listen chat, I am pretty sure we're gonna go and check this out, man. This is interesting. You know, I don't know if it's gonna be good, but at least it looks interesting. Looks something different. You know, as Craine already said, it is gonna be mainly for the mid resonance, but we might check it out.
To damage, more like to knockback. Then we have the Shackled Fate with the Buried Tailor.
Let's give it here. What is gonna say?
I'm having a lot of fun with this build. Of course, it isn't the big tactical shot, very passive and kind of a lazy battleground mode. But your influence on the game is quite high with this build. Your death count
that's what I
will
want.
go up
because like right now, what I feel like whenever I go with the Barbarian into the battlegrounds, it is kind of cringe, man. Like I feel like I have no impact at all. Like I cannot stay like near the idol. I cannot do anything. So my motivation to play Barbarian inside like as a low resonance bar meta high legend, like it's just like it's very annoying, man. You cannot do anything. You don't do damage. You cannot push the idol. You cannot hold the idol. You're just there, man.
Because there's no real escape. But your idle stand time with HP greater than 0 will nearly double, with all the damage reduction and knockbacks to annoy the enemy.
Alright.
Sure, you can't chase enemies anymore to get a high kill count, but you will be damage dealer number 1 quite often, even on 3rd
damage dealer number 1
place on the kill count. So guys, give it a try and enjoy a new way of barbing with
Sounds good to me.
Terror. Leave me a comment if you have improvement ideas, and as always, like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video and if you want to see more stuff like this.
Sounds good, buddy. Sounds good. Craine plays once again, bringing a new build for Barbarian, a new way. I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna give you to you guys so you guys can go and like and subscribe if you guys still didn't. Craine, well, it is one of the OGs Barbarians. Definitely a very big inspiration for me, and whenever I was starting Barbarian and all these things, I used to watch all these guides, and I still do. So go there, drop him a like and a subscribe. Is very, very good.